So you're unemployed, you have no money, and you don't have a degree. So what's the plan?
I'm in 5th grade. I get money from my parents.
Likely excuse. Later, I'll ask college students the same question.
What do you see here?
Kid studying.
Yeah, on the computer.
Uh-huh.
Very serious.
It's someone with a job. Why can't you guys do that? What's so hard?
Yikes.
I think Wall Street Journal posted it once.
Posted what?
Like, not enough jobs.
Apparently, Gen Z can't find a job. And after talking to them, an economist, and a career coach, it's not for a reason I can find anyone talking about.
What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Give it up for the band.
Get out of here.
I watch a lot of young people on my phone, and recently they've all been kind of saying the same thing.
I just got rejected from Walmart.
As a cashier. I have a fucking master's degree, bro.
I apply to jobs that I'm qualified for and I get rejected.
What are we doing to make money?
And then you have all these people saying that they're so overqualified for their job that a monkey could do it. Could a monkey do a job? We will investigate later. But before we talk to the experts, maybe Gen Z just needs to take my grandma's advice of getting a job by asking very nicely. When I was in recruiting hell, my grandma would call me up and say, Shreyas, have you tried just asking Mr. McKinsey? Have you tried calling Mr. Goldman? And I was like, Grandma, what? I can't, I'm nervous. This one time I asked a barista for the digits to the bathroom, and she said, sorry, I have a boyfriend. Have you ever missed a shot you didn't take? Look, the American dream is to work at a company where the people say it's like a family, which almost always means that it's nothing like a family, which is good because imagine if your coworkers did act like your loved ones. You go to your performance review and your manager's like, would you still work for me if I was a worm? Your boss says that he's mad at you. You ask why and he says, oh, it's nothing. And then later says, it just feels like you're with me for the money. Luckily, I have a job. But just in case this doesn't work out, I wanted to peer into the world of entry-level jobs to figure out what the f*** is going on over there.
I've sent 85 job applications.
Anthropic CEO warning that AI could eliminate nearly half of all entry-level jobs.
Tell me why I applied to an internship and I got rejected a minute later!
Out of the over 6 million jobs that I applied to, I was ghosted by 4 million.
I know damn well they did not go through my application. They did not read that shit.
Huh. With all this complaining, I knew I had to confront Gen Z myself. How we doing?
Good.
Cozy in here?
Yeah, a little bit.
They're talking about us in the news. Have you seen this? Why it's so hard for Gen Z to find a job right now. Guys, why?
I don't know. Too lazy.
I have a hard time with addition.
13 plus 17.
30? Oh, wow.
Never doubt yourself.
I'm going to try again.
There's a lot of applicants.
Tell me about that.
A lot of highly qualified applicants, very small job pool.
47 plus 15.
62.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You know the worst part? Gen Z is high at work more often than you think. What the fuck, guys? Who's smoking weed? Why did you all look at this guy?
No, what? No, this is being recorded. We're not doing it.
Smoking weed at work?
No, I don't smoke.
Yeah. What is it about Gen Z? Because every generation's had their trouble. Like, what is it about Gen Z that's just making it so hard?
I think AI.
But you guys are the Asians and Indians.
It's not enough jobs.
Not enough jobs.
Where shows off.
It turns out these kids weren't just on something, but onto something. The Wall Street Journal reported that companies are predicting this year to be the worst college grad job market in half a decade.
So the story is ChatGPT is released in 2022. Employers don't have to hire young people because AI will do the job for them, and so entry-level work is declining, and so are these younger opportunities. That story is 3.5 years old, at least the AI part. But the other part, the part about entry-level jobs declining, that is like a 2-decade problem. I mean, entry-level jobs have been declining for a really long time.
Yeah.
And employer markets are becoming more concentrated. That is something that we can measure.
Wow.
God, I never get this name right. It's called the HHI. Hirschman-Herfindahl Index. I think that's it.
Actually, that's not it. It's called the Herfindahl-Hirschman Index. She got it backwards. Silly goose. It tells us that 75% of US industries have become more consolidated in the last 20 years. It's one of those persisting issues that rarely gets as much attention as AI.
I think every generation had it bad.
Do you feel stressed?
No.
22 times 19.
Yikes.
Is there any truth to the complaints that we hear from Gen Z who claim that they have it the hardest?
Do you need a badge that says have it the hardest?
Right.
What do you get from it? That question is not answerable. So right now, the unemployment rate for workers who are 16 to 24 years old is around 10%. That was what the unemployment rate was going into the Great Recession. And by the time we got to the other side of it, it was 20%. If you think graduating in an unemployment rate where it's 10% is hard, imagine if it were 20. If you need the badge that says had it the worst, you gotta sit with the truth that it probably won't be awarded to you. But if it matters, claim it. I say claim it because if you are dissatisfied, you need to do something about it. Our economy hurts so many people in so many ways because of policy failures and economic choices. And so this discussion of who had it hardest is instructive in the fact that the more we learn that's bad about our economy, the more impetus we have to fix it.
Wise words, but fixing the economy will take some time. If only we had advice that students could follow today from a grown man out there who talks to students all across the country every single week.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to students all across the country every single week, and I can't think of the last time I met someone who said, Gorick, I got a job by applying online. In fact, it's the opposite. It's, oh, Gorick, let me tell you about the person I met who then introduced me to so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so.
Right.
It's strange where the more technologically advanced we seem to be as a society, the more we as a species are returning to the basics, the analog stuff, the stuff that used to work. The most successful people who end up landing jobs are not the people who apply through the front door. They're the people who get introductions and who crawl through that side window.
I did once try getting a job by crawling in through a side window. Why did I get the police called on me?
Did you get the job?
I got a restraining order. Is there something hard about getting a job these days?
Yeah, a little bit.
What?
I'd say networking.
What's so hard about that?
Just a lot of talking to people.
Because you're too high.
Say no, bro.
It's really hard to talk to people?
Yeah.
Oh. Could it be possible that the most socially isolated generation in history is entering a job market where connection is more important than ever?
The first thing I start with is that I was waitlisted for every job I've ever applied to and gotten. There's a lot of rejection that led to everything that has ever appeared on my resume. Start by thinking about the people you know and the companies you're connected to. Don't start with the application. Unfortunately, school doesn't really teach you this stuff. The reality is when that job gets posted, there are dozens of people who have already had that inside track long before that application opened. That job opening may just be to make sure that the company remains compliant and that they at least see who else is out there.
Using what we learned from the Harvard Career Coach, I wanted to see if my least employable friend could accomplish what members of Gen Z couldn't with a master's degree.
Floor clean.
So how'd that go? Yeah, no, no. Hey, you tried your best, man. You know, I didn't get the job I wanted out of college. Yeah. No, it was a really tough time, man. Like, you know, you put your whole worth on something. Like, oh, the job I'm gonna get, what other people can get. And hundreds of applications become thousands of applications. And it reached a point where I was hoping for a rejection letter just because I wanted proof that they were actually reading the resumes that I were putting out. Yeah. But hey, you know something? That period of time forced me to think about what I actually want to do with my life. And it resulted in me doing this YouTube channel. So I guess you could say things worked out.